the story. I feel like I get it. Right? I feel like I get it, right? Moral of the story, bro. As long as this shit is performative, nigga, we right. We straight. Because we know what performing is gonna get us, nigga. We know what, like, just taking shit to the extreme is gonna get us. You feel what I'm saying? We know that, you know what I'm saying? It's a classic humanization. Ooh, that one might be a big one. It's a classic humanization of the term or the saying. You know that whole saying where it's like, you know, you. What the fuck? Okay, for some reason, one thought was hijacked by another thought in my head. I don't know why this saying is hitting me, right? This saying, you're not ugly, you're just broke. I know for Dabo that was the case. You know what I'm saying? It was just like he was down bad, bro. But then now that he's getting money, he's even got like content where he's like, you know what I'm saying? He's been kicking it with like some bad ones. I'm not gonna lie. You feel what I'm saying? Some bad ones. But nah, not that saying. The saying that I actually wanted to like, break down was the whole thing of like not all publicity is bad publicity. Is it something like that? Or all publicity is good publicity? There's no such thing as bad publicity? Some shit like that, right? To a point where it's like, yo, even if, you know, a nigga's humiliated, bro, they're not gonna register that thing as something bad. Bro, I'm growing something, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they might even have it in their minds that, you know what, like, this is digital footprint, right? So I can always transform. Yes, this might just be like a reference of an old me, nigga. But you know what I'm saying? I didn't change. I didn't this, that, and the third. And the whole thing of, you know, they can even document the transformation. It's there for people to see. So nobody can doubt it. Nobody can you know what I'm saying? Everybody can see the reason why they had to transform and be better people. But for now, fuck it. We'll just you know what I'm saying? Be these humiliating guys all we want. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, alright, you know what I mean? But then again, that's why I was like, yo, peep the kind of psychology. Peep the kind of psychology that. Oh shit, wrong button. My bad. I got trigger happy there a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I just formulated my little soundboard with hot keys and shit like that. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky with hot keys, you know what I'm saying? I got my little Mario coin and shit like that. So yeah, it kind of threw me off there a little bit. My bad, Joe. Where was I? Yeah, damn. Yeah, whatever. It is what it is. It's gone. But yeah, I think it was something along the lines of like, you know what I mean? If you just, you know, as long as you know the shit is documented, it's online, you know, I've put it in front of people why I act this way. Because here's another thing I want to highlight about this whole parasocial thing, right? Parasocial connection thing is that you feel like you know the person that you watch every day, you know what I'm saying? But that's only based off of the things that they're posting. It's not their whole lives. It's not their whole, you know what I'm saying? So the fact that people can control that narrative, I can control what you see about me. I can reveal things about me that, you know what I'm saying, only I choose for you to know, and not everything about my life. You feel what I'm saying? I can, you know, fraudulently tell you and fabricate stories about myself just to create an image about myself. You feel what I'm saying? So with the world where that whole thing is, that's why I feel like, you know, humiliation, ritual, culture, for as long as you are the creator, it's like, you can always come up out of that. You know what I'm saying? You always have attention on you for people to see your phases, for people to see your changes and your transformations. So it's never a problem for me to like be down bad right now. As long as I know your eyeballs are on me, like I'll keep working and the transformation is gonna be beautiful. So I'm not sweating anything right now. Hey, that might just be the approach that these boys are looking at this thing. Well, those may be the lens through which these boys is checking this shit out, right? You know what I'm saying? And the whole thing of, on top of all of that, the whole shit of just like, you know, this niche of streamers, it's literally people who are just like degenerately, you know, who degenerately just are themselves, dog. It's like, yo, since this is the one thing where even if, you know, looking at the TOS terms of service, you know what I'm saying, how to like conduct yourself and things like that, they're a little too like less strict than other platforms. Like, yeah, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? So everybody that just wants to let it rip and just go crazy on camera in front of a screen, like yeah, let's do it. And because that's the energy, maybe, you know, that was a certain creator's starting point of why they wanted to jump into streaming, right? So then to them it's like, yo, me doing these things on stream, it's like, it's me, you know what I'm saying? And you are here, you found me here on Twitch, you know, doing my thing, letting it rip, like just being my authentic self, and you want to come judge me? Get the fuck on, bruh. You feel what I'm saying? That and so therefore you, the decent civilian, might look at this and be like, this is wild behavior, but to them this is all normal, man. What are we trying to, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, yo, my whole point of it is like, it may be a collective, humiliation ritual. It may be collectively, like that whole thing may be collectively affecting the whole collective, the streaming collective, to a point where it's like, yo, it might just be a solid characteristic of like the reputation of a streamer, right? To a point where you, being the decent person that you are, you know what I'm saying, whenever you reveal that you're a streamer, you know, this kind of POV about you exposed. M.O.S. moral of story. First things first, just like, just know what kind of examples to follow, bro. At this point, look, I'm not your parent, so I wouldn't like be at your corner, you know what I'm saying, being like, yo, follow this example. No, don't follow that. No, come, follow this one. This one is okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nobody to do that, especially the fact that, bro, y'all own parents are not the ones supervising y'all. Why am I talking like there's kids here, dog? Do you think like this kind of section might hit a TikTok count that's like, nah, man, forget that advice, bro. It's no kid watching my shit. I do wanna break down something though. Hold on. Co-pilot, I don't know if you remember when we were breaking down the main attachment styles. Please break those down for me once again, Your Honor. Fuck, I ain't even got my boy active. God damn. Ooh, feeling blonde. My boy Co-pilot, where have you been? What have you been doing, sire? Yo, Co-pilot, I'm saying, break down the attachment styles again for me one more time, just like how you have done the previous time that we was having this kind of conversation, my boy.
Absolutely. So attachment styles are basically patterns of how we connect with other people in relationships. You've got the secure attachment style where folks tend to feel pretty comfortable with intimacy and independence. Then there's the anxious attachment style where someone might crave closeness but also worry about their relationships a lot. And of course the avoidant style where people might feel a bit uncomfortable with too much closeness and prefer to keep some distance.
Yo, break down the anxious attachment style quickly.
Sure. So the anxious attachment style is basically when someone really values closeness but tends to worry a lot about their relationships, like they might fear being abandoned or need extra reassurance from their partner. It's all about that blend of craving intimacy but also feeling a bit uncertain about it.
Anxious attachment style. Just hold it right there, my boy. Just hold it right there. Hold it right there. So he said what? Wait, just, man, you know what? Worries about the connection of the relationship.
Stop trying to defend these girls, bro. Like, if you want to be with them, it's okay. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Baby,
stop.
Leave me alone.
That's
Stop.
not the case, baby.
Leave me alone. Stop. You're embarrassing me, right?
Embarrassing me. You're such a fucking embarrassment.
Fucking
Dating
embarrassing.
you is an embarrassment, right?
You,
Why the fuck are you even
pain in the sack. Ball sack.
searching for my friend?
Cool,
Why are you
now.
searching for my friend?
Which friend?
Why are you searching
Why
for my
you searching,
friend? What
dog?
do you want from my friend?
Which
Searching,
friend?
why
Are
are
you
you
mad,
searching for
bro?
the friend?
Ah,
Are you
wow,
mad,
come on.
bitch?
No,
Don't piss me off. Don't. Sit down.
Wait, you went too fucking far, bro. Not there. I want to go here. And then it comes here. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, where the fuck? And then it's like, it's still a shoulder to cry on. So let me see. Co-pilot. Yo, co-pilot. Yo, co-pilot.
Hey.
Yo, co-pilot. The anxious attachment style. One more time, please.
Absolutely. So the anxious attachment style is basically when someone craves closeness and connection, but they often
How would a person with an anxious attachment style react to cheating?
Someone with an anxious attachment style might react pretty intensely to cheating. They'd likely feel a surge of anxiety and insecurity, and they probably need a lot of reassurance and open communication to rebuild trust. It's that combination of really craving closeness and also feeling pretty vulnerable.
What would a real life example of someone with an anxious attachment style be with them going through a humiliation ritual?
Well, if you think about someone with an anxious attachment style going through a humiliating situation, they might take it pretty hard. They'd likely be extra sensitive to feeling judged or rejected, and it could really trigger their underlying fear of not being accepted. So they might need a lot of comfort and reassurance afterward to help them regain that sense of security.
A lot of comfort. How do they lash out? The people with anxious attachment style. How do they lash out?
They might lash out by becoming really emotional, or maybe even acting a bit clingy or demanding. When they're feeling that anxiety, it can come out.
People with the anxious attachment style, right? Do they act clingy and wait? You said they act clingy and what?
Yeah, exactly. They might get a bit clingy or really seek a lot of reassurance to feel secure again. Basically, it's that need to feel really connected and certain that they're not going to be abandoned or left out.
Co-pilot.
Hey there. Yeah, so essentially someone with an anxious attachment style might get a bit clingy and really want that extra reassurance to feel secure again. It's all about them needing to rebuild that sense of connection and trust.
What kind of personality traits could, get derived from somebody with an anxious attachment style?
Absolutely. So just to recap, someone with an anxious attachment style can end up feeling a bit clingy because
what are the personality traits that can be just developed from this attachment style?
Well, from an anxious attachment style, some personality traits that can develop might include being very empathetic and attuned to others' needs, but also sometimes being a bit more sensitive to rejection or needing extra reassurance.
Nah, we're not doing this
Also
again.
worried
Yo, I'm talking about, boy, listen, I'm saying, give me the
more about their relationship.
Yo, I'm talking. Listen, give me the degenerate versions of. The hell, something went wrong? My boy, what the fuck? Come on, co-pilot, don't do this, bro. I was just talking, bro. You just gonna tap out of me like that?
My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Nah, don't do that, bro. Check, bro. I'm saying, what are the negative aspects of a personality trait, developed out of anxious attachment style?
Absolutely, let's dive into that. So if you've got an anxious attachment style, sometimes it can lead to a bit of overthinking or maybe needing a lot of reassurance. It's all about understanding those traits and just figuring out how they show up for you personally.
Do you think...
It's really about self-awareness. If you know that
self-awareness, my boy. Do you think, but people that have a tendency of just like lashing out so bad that they want to damage other people around them or other aspects of their environment, do you think an anxious attachment style, results in these kind of like actions?
Yeah, exactly. So when those traits show up, you might find yourself maybe reading into things a bit more or feeling a bit unsure unless you get that reassurance. It's just part of how an anxious attachment can play out, and it's something that can definitely be worked on over time.
Yeah, nah, I don't know. Like, I think I asked this nigga something really stupid. I think that's why. You know what I'm saying? I asked him something really stupid. Wait, let me see something here.
Excuse me.
Oh, it's not.
Okay, actually, nah, this is a hard watch. Nah, this is actually a hard watch. You know, another thing one thing I've noticed is that, you know, people, for the most part, it's what they take themselves through that end up, you know, building, you know. Because when we're talking, look, when I'm talking psychology, it's like the psychology of what you know, the kind of meaning that you put to your reality. You understand what I'm saying? The kind of belief system that you're tapped into. You know, how you learn things. You understand what I'm saying? How you learn things. How you and now, as a result of how you learn those things, you feel me? You develop a certain character. You develop certain, you know, personality, bro. From that kind of, like, you know, psychology, the psyche, right? And I feel like, you know, whatever you take yourself through, you know. Let me just pause what's going on YouTube, bro. And the psyche of just like what you take yourself through, you know what I mean? That develops like a whole picture of just like, okay, this is what it means for me, right? My reality means my reality means I gotta develop this kind of ego. You feel what I'm saying? You develop an ego from the kind of nigga you live, you have your being within your reality, dog, within a specific environment, right? Within a space. Let's put it that way. And since that's the reality, that shapes like, right? That shapes how you think you should be, how you think you should like just present yourself. Isn't that the ego? The mask that you have to put on, you know what I mean? To, you know, to present, you know, how you believe you should present yourself best to the world. You feel what I'm saying? Is this diplomatic guy? Is this crash out? Is this, man, y'all get what I mean, dog. I don't have to break everything down like that now. You feel what I'm saying? So all of that, all of that does build, you know, your kind of ego. You understand what I'm saying? And now, you know, that, you know, in my whole conclusion of things, that can be a derivative of just like what you've made things mean for you. You know what I'm saying? What you believe about your environment, aka even yourself. You understand what I'm saying? That's the psyche at work. You feel me? You feel me? How you are aware. We got, you know, the consciousness, the awareness, and how we are aware of that thing. You feel what I'm saying? And, you know, I'm just fascinated to, you know, I'm fascinated what, not even her, you know what I'm saying? Not even Laquita herself, but just women that think like her. You feel what I mean? People that just like would want to attack people around them. I mean, even with Nina Lynn, dog, you know, from just being told, yo, don't film us here, don't film people here. And that's like, you know, that's a regular request from
Posted a video.
That's a regular request from somebody who may be a regular civilian that doesn't want to be on camera, being filmed. You understand what I'm saying? That's understandable, but she would just like go crazy. Bro, I swear it's the same thing, hey? I swear it might just be like, what did I say? Anxious, preoccupied? I don't know. And to be honest with you, I don't even know what to title this one, man. What kind of psyche are we presented with in this kind of female? I'll see, man. We'll check it out. Now, this one, the one that's coming through next, right? I'm gonna lie. Moral of the story, right? It's the type of dialogue that she's opening up. The necessary kind of dialogue that she's supposed to be opening up here. You know what I'm saying? Now let's paint this picture one more time, right? This is a VTuber, right? A VTuber is a virtual content creator that just like creates content digitally, virtually, but behind a virtual avatar, right? A virtual like display of yourself, like an AI generated, so a cartoon, it could be a cartoon, blah blah blah, right? That just like is animated to do the motions of your face as you talk, but it's not your real face, it's the cartoon, right? But your voice is the real thing. So this creator, VTuber, was invited to at a streamer award show. She's a streamer, right? Slash VTuber. V-streamer? Okay, cool. So, so now this VTuber is invited to this award show, but obviously it's not her at the award show. She's being held through a screen because she cannot show her physical right presence or whatever. She cannot like come out with that because that's the kind of content creator she is. Now she's at the show, and then like, people who are actually excited because Rakai and Ray, they were actually excited to see her. They were like, yo, da, da, da. You know what I'm saying? How you doing? You know what I mean? Like, yo, this is you. This is Iron Mouse. That's her name, Iron Mouse. Yo, we're so excited to see you. Like WU. You feel what I'm saying? So they were like, yo, yeah. They were chopping it up on some excited vibes. They were like, yo, we just have we just gotta ask you something real quick. And then she was like, yo, ask me anything. And then they asked her, yo, what do you look like? She was like, I'm ugly. Duh, I'm ugly. That's why I'm a VTuber. What? I'm ugly. That's why I'm a VTuber. You understand what I'm saying? After having said, yo, you can ask me anything. And then now because of that, it's like, yo, and at the moment, everybody was excited, dog. Everybody was excited to, interact with everybody else. Like, she was excited to see Rakai and Ray, right? Rakai and Ray was excited to see her, right? Her avatar, right? Hearing her voice, they were excited to hear her voice, because that's what was there essentially. She was not even there. You know what I'm saying? Now she's talking about like, yo, okay. Now she's reflecting, right? Now there's a video where she's reflecting on that whole experience. Now she's like, yo, I actually was not comfortable about like the questions that they were asking me. Like I was visibly shaken. She was like, yo, I was visibly shaken? What are you talking about? What was visibly shaken, bro? You know what I'm saying? The nigga that was holding the screen so pressed to go to the bathroom so much that the nigga was just like dancing, trying to I gotta go to the bathroom. And then obviously he's holding the screen. This is you on the screen. He's I gotta go. Obviously that's how you're visibly shaken. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way you'd be visibly shaken. You feel me? So yeah, she was talking about, yeah, I'm visibly shaken, and now it's a thing. Now it's literally a thing. I feel like even her delivery was to a point where she's, trying to make it a thing where it's like, yo, nah, I'm the victim. She was literally victimizing herself. For what reason, dog? You was having a time. You was having a blast when you was chopping it up with Rakai and Ray. What changed? You know what I'm saying? What changed? I don't know, man. So that was weird, right? So now another thing that I want to raise is the kind of like narrative, as I said, like XQC was raising up the point where it's like, yo, it's a talking point that she's trying to raise. But what kind of talking point is this? We're talking about you are victimizing yourself off of something where you are not physically there, number one. You know what I'm saying? You're not physically there. How are you like violated in this? Because she, like, as I'm saying, her delivery about the whole situation was kind of like, yo, damn near, violated on some shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's the kind of imagery that she was painting. Like, yo, I was damn near violated, bro. So I'm like, yo, now you want real empathy, you want real sympathy. Like, what are we talking about? Like this whole thing of, and again, I cannot help but just I cannot help but to point out the rise of feminism, bro. I don't mean to be political, but yes, feminism that gave people the kind of entitlement where it's like, yo, this shit is in your head, bro. And I'm not talking about like the feminism that was necessary to, that was necessary to be brought up, to be initiated, right? The one where it's like, yo, I understand your cause. I can actually hear your gripes with whatever it is, right? That gave birth to you. But it's like the ones that are extremists, the one like unnecessarily so too, but just to, kind of push their own agendas, to, extremify. Damn, I don't even think that that's a word. Extremify? No. Push things to extreme levels of even delusion to, to the intention for, your own agendas to just be put across. You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about that type of toxic feminism. And I'm not saying it's the one that started VTubing or whatever, but I'm saying the kind of thinking that this VTuber has must be a derivative of that, bro. Because it's like, you know what I'm saying, where it's like, yo, that's delusional victimization, bruh. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's, that's how I really feel about it, right? About the whole experience and the whole. And okay, here's another thing I want to point out, especially about, content creators. This is not no knock at content creators, but it's to a point where this content creation thing, where especially where you're not an outside content creator, right? You're not an IRL content creator. You're not outside. You're just in your own space. You know what I'm saying? All you deliver is your voice. You know what I'm saying? What else besides your voice do you deliver? I'm talking about these VTubers, right? And so therefore, it's like you become a person that's so in their bubble so much that you don't know when to apply a real life principle or a real life thing, a real life concept to your reality. You don't know when to. So for example, like, to be able to spot when you are really victimized. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, yo, just because somebody interacted with you in a weird way, but it's not like a weird way that's like so out of pocket, like it's criminal, right? But it was weird that, you even gave the consent, dog. You gave the consent. You was like, yo, ask me anything, nigga. They did that. And right, maybe because the engagement didn't maybe turn out the way you wanted it to turn out, I don't know, but you were engaging with it, so that's your consent with it, right? You were engaging with it, you invited it. You feel what I'm saying? And then now, I don't know, man. I don't know, for whatever reason you're the victim. It's like, that's like, victimization is a real thing, bruh. You know what I mean? That's a real life thing that happens, a real life phenomenon, bruh, that people just experience. You know what I'm saying? People really are victims. But like, it's like there's certain things, there's certain aspects that makes somebody a victim is when you're really like violated, bro. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm so serious right now. You could have said, yo, turn the screen away, bro. I don't wanna interact with these people. Or you could have just, like, I don't know, switched your own device off on some shit. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to interact, like, if this moment was really that real and that deep for you. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't even know what to call this kind of. Is it entitlement? I don't know. But nothing happened here. Nothing happened here. But that's what I'm saying. If it was really weird, why didn't you tell, like, hey, you device holder, turn me away. I don't want to interact with these people. Or you could have just muted your device wherever you're sitting in your home, right? Just mute the device. I don't even want to hear these niggas' voices right now. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like. So I don't know what to call this, but shit, it's an interesting phenomenon, bro. Like, it would be so interesting to, maybe, let's say, get to a time where this kind of thing, right, is really a criminal violation, where you virtually, say something and then that could be considered a kind of violation that left her shaken or left them shaken to a point where it's like, nah, you deserve to be criminalized for that. whole. But I'm not gonna lie, like, you know, for as long as the world is embracing more and more of this online reality and people building their identities there, it's like there are gonna have to be laws around just like how people interact within that space. It might even feel ridiculous at first. Okay, jump in, right? MOS, right? Moral of the story, we have to start asking ourselves, nigga, priorities, right? Does this nigga give a fuck? You know what I'm saying? Does this nigga care? Does he give a fuck about, right, the kind of consistency that, you know, the audience holds him up to, like the kind of standard of consistency that his audience holds him up to. It might say some things about Ching Eagle. I'll break that down later. But you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's like, because like, yo, the transformation has always been blatant with Ching Eagle, bro. He started from that whole way up. I don't know, like, you remember that song with Big Star? That way up kind of, you know, the season where he had just, you know, been off of that hip hop show, things like that. I can't remember the name now, my bad. You know, that whole thing where it's like, okay, I'm him now, like I'm in the spotlight now. How do we play this game? Right? That was the whole mental. Yo, how do we play this game? How do we win the people's hearts? You know, how do we continue to, let me just put my screen proper, bro. I don't like the positioning, man. Right? How do we, like, yo, remain in these people's faces, man? What are we talking about, right? So Shen, I feel like he became one of those people where that got real redundant for him. That's why we then received the you know, he then came out with more like deeper introspective kind of records where, okay, we see that's what he gives a fuck about, you know, a little more. Literally, I heard that off of the Yellow, you know, the Yellow time, Yellow Shane, right? Yellow, and then, yo, I can't put to you exactly, you know what I'm saying, what he dropped after that. He probably was on singles and things like that. Ooh, what's that song, bruh? Fuck, that's Black and White. You know, where it's all black and white, things like, you know what I'm saying, where it's, you know, shit is black and white, shit is simple in the visuals, you feel me? He'd pop out with songs like Let It Flow, yeah, to you know, let you know that, yo, the streets still, or to, I don't know, maybe to just see if the streets still fuck with him, right? Wasn't mad at that, you know what I mean? We got even, you know, fast forward to a time like Dark Moon, and that one is at the top of my head because that one is literally one of my, you know, like one of my favorite that Shane dropped. Facts. Dark Moon got that, right? Yeah, facts. To this day, you know what I mean? I be bumping a few tracks here and there. Yeah, Dark Moon, he was there. He was kind of deep with it. He had his vibes, his vibey joints and shit like that. So he's just like been, and then from that point he kind of like parked at that level, right? He kind of like chilled out, you know. I think the next one was it Green? Oh fuck, like my memory's not serving me, like, but you know, all the way to like the time of Green. Green was even more kind of not loud like that, you know what I'm saying? It was even just like a little bit more calm than Dark Moon, right? Type thing, like that's the general feel, because you know it's all about how these things make you feel and like what you remember from them. And this is what I got. Like I would bump Green, going to work, coming back, like on my, you know, on my daily routine type shit. You know what I mean? It would be Green. It would be some Reese shit too. You know, some Coda shit, Coda the Friend, type shit. You know what I mean? The kind of thing that just like gets you to it. Kind of like focus, not like, yo, we having a good time, we gotta vibe out, yo, what's up with the energy here, like, you know what I'm saying, what's the numbers with the shit, like, yo, like, what's the vibes, what's the, I ain't gonna lie, you feel me? So I feel like, you know, the moves were deliberate at this, like, at this rate. The moves is deliberate at this rate. You feel what I'm saying? Now we done got, you know, now we done got Never Meet Your Heroes, or is it Don't Meet Your Heroes, Never Meet Your Heroes? You feel me? I like something happened, bro. Like, I feel like a realization, especially with him being the person that he is. You know, the nigga met his heroes. The nigga met his heroes. He saw, you know, the truth behind all that. You know what I'm saying? That whole play of just like, yeah, meeting the person that you look up to, and then making the shit about, yeah, the positioning that these people are at. And then when I also get to that position, I'm, you know, making it about that and just inspiring the next person. Look, that kind of intention, you know, a whole lot of people said that kind of intention, you know, with their music and shit like that. But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, you can get to a point where you see, yeah, you see through the veil. You see on the other side of the veil, you're like, nah, this kind of aesthetic, this kind of imagery, right? This kind of just even positioning of status and whatnot is what I'm trying to get to. But then you meet this, you know, you meet these people in real life and you realize, yo, the shit that they gotta sacrifice. These niggas ain't even family, man. These niggas is deadbeat dads. These niggas, you feel me? These niggas, no level of consistency, loyalty, no level, you know what I'm saying? Like, the principles is janky. I'm not finna lie. Yo, this shit falling off, yo. Get rid of it. Feel me? Principles is janky with these motherfuckers, so I can't be coming out with the kind of imagery that these niggas stand for, especially, you know what I'm saying, in their music and shit like that. So I'm moving away from that so that you'll never associate me with these kind of brothers, especially nowadays when we see, you know what I'm saying, as the truth becomes revealed from niggas who are, you know, giants in the game and shit like that. All these exposures, you know, the Diddy shit, you know what I'm saying, you know, the biggest people in the game are being exposed for like some bullshit. Now it's like, yo, the things that I may have aspired to as per the imagery of my music, that's the shit that's gonna get me next to these guys. And now, even with the, you know, ego deaths that they going through, the humiliation rituals, I don't want to be associated with that. So I'm fine here by, you know, the educational rapper. I don't know. I don't mean to make that sound corny though. You know what I'm saying? Educational raps. It's like, you know, it's just like, you know, we diving into the pockets of Abu Common. You know what I'm saying? People like that. Now, you know, talking Lupe Fiasco. That's mad deep too. But you see that's a respected pocket. Do your homework. Do your homework. You know what I'm saying? That's a respected pocket. When we talking Lupe Fiasco, especially, you know, with the kind of moves that he's doing, bro. Like, it's nothing but respect to that kind of brother. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, and I feel like now going deeper with the people that value your brand, as Shane Eagle, go deeper with that. You know what I'm saying? You know, pog out for them some more content that they can chew on. You feel what I'm saying? Have your own system where you just like tap in with them, and also where you can benefit at the same time, right? I don't know, some subscription things where they can tap in, exclusive Patreons, you know what I mean, where they can just like tap in the people that are like, that still care about you as Shane Eagle type shit. You know what I mean? That care about the kind of music that you still drop, right? Where it's like not about you, not about your narcissism. I mean, you can pop your shit from here to there. I'm not saying this nigga don't like pop his shit and like talk his shit. Like, yo, you still care about it, nigga, it's still hip hop. That's a fact. It's still hip hop. But the general theme, right? The general theme has transformed with Shane Eagle. Dog, I cannot knock it. I can't knock it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? There is such a train of thought to it where it's like, dog, it's a flip-floppy type shit, right? It's like, yo, dog, like, make up your mind. Where do you stand? You feel what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's where maybe the lack of consistency in his commercial appeal, his numbers and his chart competitiveness and just like number ones and blah blah blah, so that he can be part of the big three, right? You know what I'm saying? I just think at his rate, he doesn't need it. He doesn't need it. He just needs to know what to do with, you know, whatever that he does have, right? And just grow the value there. And then I feel like the reach will spread naturally at that point, right? Because everything has to compound, especially if you keep on your shit, if you keep like